Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Recap. I'm Evan Lazarus. I'm the CEO of T3 Live, and today we have a very special guest, the head mentor, one of the co-mentors of the Trade the Morning room, as well as a very good friend of mine, Mr. Michael Lee. But before we get to Mike, who's down at the T3 Trading Group office in Boca Raton, Florida, I do want to mention that I spent some time on the trading floor this afternoon, and it is a very, very interesting place. Lots of commentary from the traders about divergences in the market. You look at a lot of some of the more momentum-oriented names, some of the technology stocks really getting hit, while you see some of the broader indexes, diamonds, spiders, still holding their ground and showing some real strength. So lots of divergence out there. It's kind of throwing traders for a little bit of a loop, causing people to scratch their head a little bit. So Mike, you fancy yourself more as a pattern day trader. You focus more on the intraday opportunities than the general market, and even thinking about things in a macro perspective. Tell me what this market's like for you, what you're seeing, what you're doing, how that trade has been.
Yeah, thanks, Ev. One thing that gets me in trouble as a trader is really following the SPYs and the diamonds and even the Qs. I think as a pattern short-term trader, you got to focus on what's going to make you money. It's going to be the micro trade, picking stocks with, news, with flow, with range. As a trader, as I remember things that I do poorly, and when I get involved in the SPY trade and the diamond trade, and oh my gosh, you see the stock down $10, $15. Why aren't the markets coming in? The divergence today was just incredible. And I want to show you some charts here. As you can see, I'll do the IWM. This is the Russell, okay? The Russell is weak. If I go to the SPYs, okay, and everyone keeps talking about the spiders. Why aren't the spiders coming down? Oh my gosh, Amazon down 10, ZU is down 13 today. These aren't really stocks that are going to move the market. And when everyone says we needed a big correction in the market, we're getting them. I'm going to show you some stocks in a little bit. But as a shorter term trader, okay, I am focusing on the morning. The morning trade, giving me that momentum, that gap fill potential trade. Finding weak stocks, finding strong ones, and not really worrying about the SPYs at 187.50 and what are they going to do. It doesn't make me money, guys. The market does not make me money. Stock picking makes me money, and that's what you got to remember. I want to show you a couple trades of. Let's start with ZU, and I'm going to show you a couple dailies. Okay, ZU was trading at 73.50. Today, at one point, it was down over $14. Absolutely incredible, incredible selling in this stock. This stock is independent from the SPYs, from the market. This is a tradable stock, shorting on rallies. Gap down today. I'm going to show you a trade I made in today, which made me my money. I was done trading this stock early in the day, and as you can see, here is the 5-minute opening range bar. I shorted it. Okay? Caught this trade, another bearish wedge set up, and I made a nice trade. I'm not worrying about what's happening after 11:30 in this stock. I am taking my money and running. Why'd I short Zulily? Bad earnings, gap down, showed bearish pattern, and I stay with the trade. I'm going to show you a couple charts as well here. These are some other stocks. FireEye had earnings today. Are you kidding me? Look at these patterns, guys. Look at the daily on FireEye. Everyone keeps trying to pick bottoms. It's the same thing on the downside. Everyone's trying to pick bottoms, and as we go up, we're trying to pick tops. That's not how I trade. Okay, how I trade is staying with the momentum of the trade, short term. If the first hour of the day is telling me short and it's weak, I stay with it. If it reverses, I get out. Here's FireEye from a high of $97.35, hit a low today of $27, guys. It's dropped that much since mid-March. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible, some of these trades. I'm going to show you a couple others. This is why you don't listen to people. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself. In March, this VEEV came out with earnings. I remember Kramer saying, oh, it's a buy, it's going higher, it's going higher. Okay? They get people in, hit a high of $40, and today it cracked $18. Another one people were talking about earlier this year, VRNS. okay? Hit a high of 56, a low of 24 today. The point I'm trying to make is it's not about the markets. It's about finding stocks that are in play and then are going to make you potential profit throughout the day.
So,
Okay?
so Mike, if I may, let me jump in because you make some interesting points there. That, if I'm sort of summarizing what you're saying, is you're talking about, you know, finding trendable stocks, whether the trend is to the upside or in the cases you highlighted, a couple of those symbols you showcased, trends to the downside, staying with those trends and using some of your smaller time frames. I think you mentioned a 5-minute chart to find those short-term intraday, nimble opportunities that you see over and over and over again, and generating, what we call cash flow every single day, just, short-term profits, base hits, 4 out of 5 days a week or what have you, as a means to your style of trading. So you're not so concerned with if the market's breaking out or if the market's not breaking out or if there's divergences. You're really much more geared towards finding, trendable daily charts and then leveraging those smaller time frames, or what we teach in your Trade the Morning strategy course, or even in the active trader course, time frame analysis and time frame alignment. So in the example of FireEye and Zulily, finding those daily charts that are pointing down, staying with those short-term downward trends, and finding those opportunities to get involved on the short side on the smaller time frames. Is that an accurate summary?
Absolutely. And putting on massive size, I'm not putting on major trades and taking stocks overnight. I'm taking the stress, as much stress as I can, out of the business and make myself my own business. Every single person has different responsibilities when it comes to finances. I'm not worrying about the guy next to me or the guy in front of me. I'm worrying about myself, and you got to put yourself in that situation. And throughout the day, we look to find low risk, high reward setups using time frame analysis, using tradable patterns, using time of day as a critical point. From 9:30 to 11:30, I'm getting that follow through. In the afternoon, when it gets a little tighter, there's two things I suggest. I don't want to hear that you're giving back a lot of money. You have control over that. You cut your size, you don't trade, or you just enjoy the money you made in the morning. I've always said this. I said this since the day I started. The only thing you know in this job is when you're up or down with no positions. You have no control of what the stock's going to do or what the market's going to do. The only thing you have is control of yourself.
That's a good point. So your core competency is not so much about the strategies from which you're trading technically, meaning where you're buying or where you're selling or even what time frame, but knowing yourself, knowing your strengths personally, what you're good at, the stress levels you can tolerate. You make a point about being a big trader or not being a big trader. What is it you mean by big trader? Is it big in terms of the size of the position you trade or your total account size? What do you mean by big?
I mean two things, okay? One, size, okay? And also looking to make 20,000 a day, 5,000 a day, 100 in a month. You don't know if you're going to be able to make $100,000 in a month until you figure out to make a little bit in the market. And I feel like a lot of new traders, and also old, who used to make a ton of money haven't adjusted yet. And you see them lose a lot very quickly because they don't understand money management. I talk about share size as well. You don't need that much size to make a lot of money in the market. We had a discussion in our momentum room today, and someone said they only put in $20,000 max on a trade. Okay, that's a lot. A $20 stock, 1,000 shares can make you a ton of money. 500 shares, it can make you a lot of money if you're disciplined. The biggest myth, and I'm going to say it again, is that you don't have to be the biggest trader in the room to be the most successful. There's a lot of guys out there I know that are doing extremely well, hitting their goals, trading accounts, that are very manageable. You don't have to be the big boy.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because I've always taught traders in some of our programs that success in trading isn't about how much money you make. It's about longevity. And if you find traders that have longevity, what's usually tied to that longevity is financial success. So it's not about how much money you make in a year or a week or a month or any given period of time. It's about how long you can stay solvent. And the longer you can stay, in the business as a trader, case in point, the more lucrative the business ultimately becomes. So that you make some really good points. Now, so that's a really good segue to talk about your webinar. I know next week, I think it's the May 15th, if I'm not mistaken, after the close, you're going to be doing a webinar on, the 3 reasons you love trading that first 2 hours of the day, some of which you've even, hinted to in the last, few minutes as we do this recap. Tell me a little bit about the webinar, where you can sign up, and what can somebody expect?
Yeah, the webinar I'm very excited about. I love doing this because I love helping traders get to their goals and to, figure out their business and help them the lifestyle of a short-term trader or an early morning trader like myself. It's a great time, especially with the summer coming. I don't know what the market's going to give us. I don't know what to expect. But I do know during the summer, generally July, August, are times to hit and run. When I talk about hit and run, I'm going to give you guys some patterns that I live by. I religiously look at every morning how I game plan these stocks. How do I have the discipline to stop? Someone asked me today, Mike, you're up X amount of dollars this morning. Don't you want to make more? Of course, every single person, no matter where they're at, if they're up $70, they want to make 71, and if they're up 77,000, they want to make 78,000. No one wants to stop, but the reality is that's what I'm in control with. I have to be disciplined, and I have to be a business owner. This is my business. When do I make most of my money? 9:30 to 11:30. Does the afternoon get choppy? Is everyone else telling me that, oh, it's a hard trade, I can't make money in the afternoon, I get hurt, I'm giving back my whole day? These are things that you don't have to be involved in, and you have to understand that 9:30 to 11:30 is a great, great way financially to do something else potentially, to have a great lifestyle, to get involved with more things out of work, have fun with your family, and we're going to talk about this. It's something that I've been doing for 14 plus years now.
So Thursday, May 15th, that's in little more than a week, from 4:30 to 5:30, you're going to be conducting a webinar talking about, your expertise, your control, your discipline, and really the things that you love about your craft that define who you are and ultimately have defined, your successes. Where can somebody, it is free, where can somebody sign up?
Yeah, as you can see, you can sign up at the T3 Live homepage. Train the Morning isn't only about lifestyle, and you click on that and sign up now on the right, and you'll see 3 reasons why Steve and I trade the first 2 hours. See 3 reasons why, we keep our stress as low as we can throughout the day, not worrying about macro news overnight. It's a powerful way to trade. People forget that there is so much money intraday, especially in the first few hours, that you don't need to start the day down. So please check the website out, t3live.com. It's right on the homepage. I'm in the Boca Raton office. If you're here, you're more than welcome to stop by as well. I love trading. I love teaching, and there's no reasons why any of you can't become a better trader and a more disciplined one. So please feel free. Join the webinar.
How, before we go, Mike, just tell me, I know you moved from New York to Florida, and you're a new proud father, so congratulations. How's Florida?
Oh, thank you. Florida's great. Sunny weather, good food, good times, cheaper living, and honestly, it's helped my trading out because it's less stress. I love New York City. I spent 13 plus years there, but you know what? It was time. I'm enjoying it. We have a great office of guys here, great traders. There's 20 plus here, and I'm loving Florida. How's South Jersey?
Do you miss me?
A little bit. I miss Parker and Scott, obviously. Scott Redler, I extremely miss.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, next Thursday, May 15th, the Trade the Morning webinar. You'll get some really good insight into how these intraday guys are effectively maneuvering a market, not worrying, keeping it simple. Really good insight there. So sign up on the T3 Live homepage. On the top right, you'll see the free webinar ad. As always, have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.